What's up, guys? Just getting everything set up. Just give me a few minutes. What's going on? I think the long may be a good idea this evening. Just because we just ran that previous day low. Screw it. Still just kind of getting everything kind of set up here. I'm probably going to have to wait for my EMAs to readjust before we consider it short, though. So not quite there yet for me. Because a lot of times, if we keep this same trend, we would have to break back above the 800 for I will consider a long. So we would have to get back above the swing for myself. Oh, come on. What we can do is just kind of look and see if this 50 minutes going to hold or not. And so that's usually a good indicator if we're going to continue higher or not. Trying to figure out why that's not going live. It says a camera source is required. All right, sorry about that. What do we got? All right, Tokyo market is open. Well, some reason I added multiple cameras. There it goes. Like I said, the only way I would really consider a long is we would have to break these. We'll have to break the previous swing. But as right now, we'll just kind of wait. We took quite a bit of that short down earlier. Right now, we're at 163 on our eval. We're going to look for another position as soon as we kind of get an idea of what's going to happen with this previous day low here. Or we could do a inversion play here. If we print above this gap here, you could possibly took it long above this gap and use that fair value gap as the line in the sand. But I think if you were sure about that previous day low, that was probably your better entry. I'm going to try not to jump in too early tonight like I did last night. Last night, I ended up jumping in early, and I had to sit through a lot of drawdown before we got out of that trade. So it wasn't the best. It seems like that's happened quite a bit this week, more than I really like it to happen. Is that sitting through drawdown? Yeah, unfortunately, we pretty much lost a eval today, guys. We got caught in that one big move we were trying to long, and we got caught into the downside. If you want to be safe about the longs here, the best way to do is to let this create a leg and have a pullback and hold. That would be your safer entry. So wherever this ends up, you just pull fib on it and just wait for some kind of pullback, and that should give you a really good indicator of we're going to hold. But I'm going to be patient and wait, because I feel like since we ran the lows that we could easily go back up to the highs. Back up to 820s before we run into some kind of resistance. We got another 5-minute fair value gap up there. Do I have a order for a long? I do. Oh, you already have your long order for the ES? Yeah, there's never like anything wrong longing off the previous day low. All right. I'm going to wait a little bit, actually. But I am going to look for a long here. I was hoping this thing would pull back into that 5-minute fair value gap there to kind of do a little retest of this gap. All right, this is kind of the line in the sand right here. So we're getting above that swing. So this is definitely getting to, you're about a little bit on the late side. I'll be in patience. I think this is going to be a good next good candle to print on here. So I'm hoping that this next 5-minute candle will print somewhere around here under the 800s, do a little bitty pullback to the top of this swing, and then hopefully we can get that long. But you just need to make sure this area is not going to hold, because this is 50% of the pullback right now. And a lot of times in the nighttime, that 50% is usually a pretty good key resistant area for pullbacks. Woo, this baby's almost up, what, 100 points already, man. Woo, pretty insane. All right, we got 2 minutes still left on this 5-minute candle. So if you want to play this safe, you just wait for the next swing. So what I would do is pull fib wherever this candle, whenever we start pulling back, you pull fib to that high, then look for like that 30 to 50% pullback. You kind of want it to be on top of this swing right here. So that's kind of what we're going to wait on before we enter. It always sucks to watch a trade barely miss. Yeah, I hate whenever I'm on the right. I know, like, I believe the trade is going down all the way, but I'm not willing to sometimes risk the amount of stop loss that I need, and I'll end up getting stopped out, and then it goes. I had one of those today. Thank you guys for the likes and follows tonight and the subscribes. What's up, Fish Lips? Dude, we already had some nice price action tonight, man. Dude, nice banger off that 25 if you made it for that 25 hit. Time I got in here, man, it was already up like 40 points away from that freaking level. Time I really got here going. No, we're not in a trade right now. We're waiting for a pullback at the moment to create another swing. Then right now we're going to be looking for longs. We've already taken quite a few trades this evening. Since we've been having such good movement that we're already up 163 tonight so far. What's up, Coach? Yeah, we trade pretty simple over here, Coach. We don't usually do a lot of the complicated stuff. Most of our entries are support, resistance, pull your fib, try to buy and discount. Selling premium, buy and discount. Then I also like to do trend line breaks too. And I also like to trade off whole numbers. But I mainly do that on evals. I haven't got to the point where I feel comfortable doing that on my funded yet. So we're still trying to get to that point. I got lit up today, Coach. I'm not going to lie. I got lit up on one of my Lucif accounts, man. I got caught. I thought we were going. Usually we get a nice little bounce off a whole number, and that thing just tanked. Like it didn't respect no levels today, man. It was just on a freight train to the South Pole, man. It's like nothing was stopping it today. Yeah, it was ruthless. It was like no bounce at the 75, no bounce at the 50, no bounce at the previous day low. I mean, nothing. It was just like, nope. Like all the way down to the 700s. So there's nothing I can do about it. If it was a funded account, I would have cut it short. But since it was an eval, I was trying to DCA back into the eval. And I got down to the 25. And I thought, okay, we've already blew through the 75. We blew through the 50. Let's see if this 25 gives us a bounce. And it did not. It just went straight through and just kept on going. Let's see if we can target. I mean, I feel like since we recovered the I don't feel like you're going to run into resistance until you get up there to the 25.32 area. So I'm hoping we get some kind of pullback here down into like the 75s or back below the 800s. That would make, yeah, I saw that you said you cooked a PA day, fish lips. I survived on the PA because I took my PA trades early in the morning off of that 15 minutes and I caught another big short. Wow, nice. Cashed out 200% year over year, man. Heck yeah. That's pretty good. All right, let me turn this stuff off here. Bring this down. So since we could not break that previous day low on the PM session, there's a good opportunity that more likely we're going to push back up to the 900s overnight. We just stream on YouTube and TikTok. Yeah, just YouTube and TikTok. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of waiting on right here, fish lips, to see if we get that pullback for a buy here. I'm kind of hoping that we get this pullback, the 50% of this leg here, or even the 23%, just kind of right below, right back to this ledge here. And so hopefully we can look for a long out of that area. But you guys know how it is. When you're trading the Asia, you gotta probably wait 20, 30 minutes before you even get the pullback. Right now, you're also sitting at the previous day close. But to me, it's very, very rare that you hit the 50 EMA and don't get that pushback back into like the 9 EMA and your 21 EMA. Come on. Where's Methodical Man said he's getting long. What is he longing? Is he longing already the NQ? Oh, he's longing off the 800. That's what he's longing. I was like, what is he longing? He's longing the 800. I mean, not a terrible, terrible idea. Especially overnight. The whole numbers are always kind of bangers here. But we're going to try to be patient and wait for that 50% pullback leg. Hopefully we get a leg pullback. It's going to be pretty crappy if we just get like a little straight across consolidation and then you kind of break out. It's where you get your little idiot box or your consolidation box where you just don't move for about 5 or 6 candles and you just stay within this area. Then you can So it'll be like the opposite from, like, let's just say if you were creating a little bear flag or bull flag where you can just draw your trend line, and then this is kind of like the box breakout. So it would be similar to, let's see if we can find an example here. This would be one. It's basically where you consolidate sideways, you get a quick push to the downside or upside, consolidate sideways, big push upside, then consolidate in the box again, then push down. So it's kind of like that type of price action instead of the clean where you get the nice little trend line pullback. What's up, Seminole? How are you doing tonight? How was your trading day go today? I didn't unescaped today. I did lose I lost one of my elusive accounts today. We got caught, and I tried a long off a whole number. It was off the 100 level, I want to say, and I thought we were going to push back up to the 50, and man, it just got smoked. it got smoked. I tried to hold on to it because it was an eval. I was like, all right, let me DCA back into this, and dude, the market just kept going and going and going. It's like, oh my goodness, like there was no DCAing back into anything today. so, so we just had to finally cut our losses. But we did okay with the fundeds. The fundeds were good. We didn't make as much on one of our main fundeds. The other one, I think we made like 150 or so. So let's see. The fundeds are still in good shape though. Let's see. The one funded, like I said, we only made like 40 or 50 bucks. So we got a little bit of that profit that we lost the previous day. So that kind of pushes about 470 away from a payout. And this one is the one that we made a little over $100. And this one's sitting at about $1,600. So hopefully by the end of the month, we'll have this one to pay out. And hopefully sometime 1st of March, we'll get there with this one. So just kind of grinding like everybody else. Fish Lips, did your nephew's team win last night? I don't really follow a lot of professional sports. I haven't really. I used to like pro football many, many years ago. Man, it's probably been at least 8 years since I've really have watched NFL football. It's been a long time. And I think this year was probably the first year I really didn't even hardly watch any college football. I used to love college football. Now it seems like it's almost like the NFL. Players don't really stay with teams no more. So it's kind of like you don't even know. It's almost like watching colleges now is like watching the NFL because it's like free agency. So everybody's either buying up all the good players or they're just hopping around like they are in the NFL. So you don't know. You don't even know half the time who's the players on the team anymore like you used to, where you can follow like a freshman or something like that through his career. But it seems like those days are kind of getting behind us. For anybody that's been a long time college football watcher. All right, here we go. We just had to be a little patient. Whew, I didn't expect that quick of a bounce. Kind of gotten that a little later than I wanted to. May try to get close to break even on that one in case it decides to push back down, so I can get a better entry. Oh, son of a bee. Oh my God. Oh, that sucks. We lost like $100 on that. What the hell? That was some weird ass price action. That was crazy, guys. All right. All right. We're still looking for longs, guys. Still looking for longs. I'm sorry, Amos. We're trading MNQ, so we're trading micros on the MNQ. Dude, did we even get the push up, or was that just a pullback for this leg here? You think fish lips? Let's see. Early in the morning. We are trading on a Ninja Trader cam, and we're trading on either Bulanox, Apex, or Lucif accounts. we had a nice win, man. We were up like 160 tonight, and oh goodness. Oh, that little push down got me in time before I was even able to move my stop loss there. Fish lips, did you buy that 75? So if we create a swing here, it should be a good indicator that we're going back into the top side. But we did, we would definitely would have to get back above here to really definitely say, okay, we are fully long here. But I'm hoping that this is the first swing back before we start moving to the top side here. Yeah, so these would be your March contracts if you're going to start trading now, Cam. The easiest to set up would probably be Tradeabate. Then Ninja, you can set it up. There's just a few more steps to setting up Ninja. A lot of times you got to do like a lot of YouTube in, and there's just like multiple steps to setting up your Ninja account. Tradeabate's a lot easier if you're like wanting to get started quick. But if you're in no hurry, I prefer Ninja charts over Tradeabate. Tradeabates are very friendly users. Like it's very easy. Oh, I've been front testing. Oh, you've already been using the Ninja Trader charts? Okay. Oh, yeah, Tradeovate. Yeah, that's what I started out when I first started doing it. It's very user friendly. Just looking for 10 points. Oh. Like I said, I'm hoping that this is the leg here. This was your 50% pullback. Whew. Oh, that's not looking very pretty, guys. We need this to be the low of the candle, and you need this right here to break above this previous candle here. Oh, you think it's going to hit the lows? Oh, it's going to hit the stop loss? Oh no, we're on an eval. We would have DCA'd back into this thing. Can't tell if we pushed above that or not. What time is it? That is one thing I know you got to be careful at nighttime when you're trading is you got to watch out for the top of the hour and the 30-minute candles because usually that's when we get the little burst. Woo, we don't want to DCA into this. This is the 5-minute time frame. I'm still long bias just because a lot of times if we can't break through the New York PM low, we go up to the New York PM high. And that's back up at 943. don't really want to see this candle right here get ran. You want this to stay your swing low here. We're not in a short. We're in a long. We're trading the MNQ. I'm trading on a 25K, so I don't. The first 10 is usually kind of like my buffer zone. I like to hit that first 10 points, and this way I can still have a negative R like stop loss, and this way I can still kind of have a break even trade and look for the longer trade. Because we're just trading 25Ks G. Yeah, I know. I was just explaining to you what we're doing. I don't take offense to anything. No, I usually don't give any advice to underage people, which I don't give any advice to anybody, but not underage. I'm not really sure who you would ask for advice for someone underage. Ooh, we're going to have to DCA back into this, baby. I do. Don't do it. You're going to lose everything at 15. That's a pretty good one. I got to say, man, this is the only thing about trading at nighttime. You got to be like super patient, guys. Yeah, I see a lot of young kids doing trading. If you ever get a lot of money, I would recommend trading like prop firms or something instead of putting your real money in there. Because at least with prop firms, you know how much you're going to lose if you lose your account. Where if you're trading real money, you have no idea. Or you have an idea, you can lose whatever you put in. Oh yeah, trust me. I have just recently got where I can trade my funded accounts like no matter what's going on in the market, and you almost have to be like, oh well, I lost. You just gotta just have like that risk management and just live with the loss. So I've gotten a lot better with that. Where if I'm red on my funded account, just live with the red and come back the next day, and you don't have to see the red no more. Man, I hope this is not a freaking little flag here that we're building like a little bear flag here. I mean, I don't think it is, but man, we keep making these freaking lower highs. We need, well, I don't know. It's kind of like, it looks like a little wedge actually. I know what it is. Methodical Man got long too, and the market doesn't like Methodical Man, and so it's stuck. Someone go over there and tell Methodical Man to go short. Rude. Hey, Methodical Man's listening. Oh, goodness. Come on. Methodical Man's being a cheerleader over there for us. He's cheering. He's cheering. He's on top of the steeple, screaming to the moon. For anybody over there that's listening to the Methodical Man. um, how are you long in Bitcoin? Oh, you're asking Thea that question. Or there that question. No, did that thing just literally miss me by a freaking point, man? Come on, that was dirty as crap. Dirty, dirty girl, you. No. What is it? Is For some reason I thought Bitcoin worked over here, but some reason it hasn't been working, so I don't know the reason behind that. All right, come on, little 5-minute candle. Here we go. This is going to get us up there. Up 2 cents in the 1 hour candle on the 50 times leverage. Yeah, for some reason I thought I could trade the nano bitcoins on Bulanox, but for some reason it hasn't been moving. So I don't know the reason behind that. I know it won't let me trade Bitcoin because the Bitcoin is way too big. It'll let me trade nano futures. At least it did the other night. I don't know why it's not letting me tonight. Unless I had to be logged on to my Lucif accounts. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's elusive accounts that it's letting me do that. Come on, man. Being over here being all dirty and stuff, Methodical Man. No need for a broker. I know. I saw it. Uh-oh. I lost my... Oh, there it is. I have to say I lost my, whatchamacallit, my TikTok chat. So what we're going to do right now is just kind of follow these lower highs to the upside. As long as we're not making any lower lows on these candles, we'll just keep it right here, and this will be our stop loss. So we're still in this trade for 30 bucks. So it could stop us out and we just lose the 30 bucks. But I'm hoping that this is the swing and we can continue higher and run this swing level up here at the 860s. And also, if you pull over your ICT kill zone pivots, for anybody that uses those ICT kill zone pivots as areas to trade to. I'm not saying we'll get up here before the night's over because I understand that's 143 points. But a lot of times, if you went back and looked last night, we did run those levels last night after. It took all the way till London session to run it. But see, last night we kind of sold below that previous day low or the New York low. And pretty much time we got into the London session, we ended up running those highs up at the New York. So I'm hoping we do the same thing tonight also. Then it was just a straight dump fest tonight, today. Like I said, this is going to be our stop loss. So either a runner will get stopped out or it survives. Still didn't make a lower yet. Okay, you're shorting here. Yep, we just broke. Crap. Yep, we just broke. We just finally a candle made a little lower low on the previous 5 minute candle. It hasn't been running the previous 5 minute candle. If gold is going up, does that mean the Nasdaq usually goes down, right? Mm. What do we got? We added one more contract to that at 800. Oh, don't tick me. Just get it and go. There we go. All right, we're able to at least add one more. Yeah, it'd be nice if we do get the breakout. I'm looking for that 60 level up there. I'm not saying we get up there. We kind of have to get through those previous day close, which has a lot of resistance at the 20. Like, I probably wouldn't abandon your short yet if you are short. I mean, you probably still got time, unless you went in super heavy. You got to think, guys, most of my trades, I don't go in heavy. This way, if I do get on the wrong side, I don't get just hammered too bad. We've been in this long for quite a while, Ricky. We just added one more contract just for another 10 points. That one little dump candle lost a little bit of my profit earlier, but we were able to get it back on the last two trades. So we're up, what, 150, 137 at the moment. Like, I don't know which way we're going to go now because we're kind of in a wedge. For anybody that likes to draw like trend lines and, just patterns, this is kind of like a little wedge here. So it's kind of like we're just waiting to see who's going to win the battle. I'm long biased at the moment just because of this leg here. So we made a short and now we have this nice little pullback. So this is what you want to think that's going to be your low. So if you pull your fib on this leg here from the bottom of here, we previous day low, pull up. We pulled about 45% back, not quite into good discount, but we're still good enough. So almost to that 50% mark, but it hit pretty much right on the top of this like big 5-minute candle. So that's kind of where, so technically if you want to play this right, this is where your stop loss needs to be. It needs to be at that 70 if you are playing it the correct way. So I wouldn't be interested in a short unless we break the 70. So remember last night, I actually got on the wrong side of this last night. That's what happened to me. I was paying attention, but I wasn't paying attention. And I made a mistake last night and tried to short into the swing. So trying to make sure I didn't do that tonight. And even with this push up here, I was waiting for us to kind of break this swing here. So, oh goodness. So we're at the previous day close. You can see there's a lot of resistance here. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 9, 10 candles here. Yeah, hopefully it just kind of just sits here and just kind of grinds and grinds and grinds. And that 9 o'clock hour, we get a little burst. And I will try to add again if we're able to make a new leg. So basically what I want to see us do is push up here, then pull back down and retest this leg here. Then that would make us another swing. Then we can possibly add to the position looking for like another 10 points. Because I want to say last night we had about 6 or 7 swings on the way up. And we broke out of this wedge. But that doesn't mean anything because I've seen us break out of the wedge one and just come back through it. So like I said, if you want to have the correct stop loss, your correct stop loss has to be at 70. So, but I don't know if I want to risk 30 points because that's like risking $60 of the profit, and I don't want to risk that. So I'd rather just get stopped out for a $20 loss and then just re-enter. If so, the target is 2409. You're going to be bullish on the next hour. Yeah, I'm looking for us to run the New York high here. Let me find it here. Sorry for messing up the charts. Let's see. That one. Here. But I know it's going to take a while to get through this here. Oh, I just noticed that where we're at. Thanks, Methodical Man. I didn't even notice that. Wasn't even paying attention. We're at the lunchtime low. So we'd have to get through the 20s here. Yeah. Because remember, lunchtime's always a lot of which charts? Are you talking about the trading view charts? Oh, we're about to get stopped out on our runner. Yeah, we're about to get stopped out on our runner. It's just indicators that I use that kind of like this is what I usually use like whenever I'm trading level to level. We usually look for like the levels from the previous trading sessions. So either we're looking for a trade down to the previous New York low or whatever the AM low was. So you got to think the AM high is all the way back up there at 25. So eventually we're going to run these levels. You just don't know when. So if you go back and look at today's price action, actually that's what we ran today. That was that big sell off that we had. So this big dump off that we had today right here, sorry it looks so small. It was actually Monday's low or Friday's low that we ran. And you see we kind of bounced there off that Friday's low before we started moving back up. So it's just use them as levels. All right, we lost that swing, so whew, the nighttime's being nasty tonight, guys. It's running people on both sides. Nice Dylan, if you was it Dylan that took his short, Did you hold your short, Dylan, or did you get stopped out before you got your short? That's one thing about trading nighttime, man. All you gotta do is just be patient. It always usually comes back to your entry, it seems like. Every now and then you'll get that black swan event where it doesn't come back, but 90% of the time the overnight session will come back to your entry. I don't know. It's just what it does, man. It's like it's just constantly just coming back and forth. So it said, yeah, I changed my name on here because I didn't realize my username was me. Oh, oh, okay. Oh, so your username was your actual name, Natty? We pretty much just do this time of the night just for streaming purposes. And we'll take little eval trades. We don't really mess around with like funded accounts or anything. This is really the only time of the day that small YouTubers can build their channels, or even on TikTok, because there's so many people streaming during the day on the bigger channels that your channel just gets buried just because there's so many large channels. So I pretty much have to get on here at the Tokyo session and stream for 2 or 3 hours at night. So that's really my main purpose of trading the Tokyo session. And if I can find like little trades here and there, if the market's moving, the market's actually moving okay tonight. It's not like super fast, but we're still getting some okay movement that you can get 10, 15, 20 points out of it. Try to make like $100 on an eval. So right now we're up 110 tonight, just trading a small little eval, just small and small micros, talking about trading or listening to other people kind of chat about trading or what they're doing in with their accounts. I'm hoping no one really trades fundeds at this time of the night, because I know I'm not good at trading funded, so I wouldn't recommend you following my trades for a funded trade unless you want to come to New York session, because that's the only session I'll trade my fundeds in, is in the New York session. I know if I tried to trade my fundeds, I would just get in trouble at this time of the night. So I strictly just do evals only. All right. Here's the top of the hour. Do we get the push here? Look at this. What did this line just hit? It hit that 50% mark. We had that 50% marked out a while ago. That's funny. I forgot all about the 50%. That's the top of the hour. Usually we get a bump here at the top of the hour. Oh no, I forgot to change my ATM strategy there, guys. Damn it. I wanted to hold a runner. Oh well. If it breaks this leg, it should push here. Oh well, we got kind of out of our runner, so even though that was like a quick $40 added to us, I wanted to hold that runner to the top of the swing up here at the 50s or 60s. So that pushed us up to 150. I don't know if we're going to be able to get another pullback to enter again here, guys. So we're just going to have to wait. So we marked this out a while ago. I'm pretty sure this is going to be your 50% line if you pull your fib on this. That's the good thing about trading at nighttime, man. Like the 50% of the fib is just like a wall for some reason. Remember? I know I was actually kind of shocked a while ago when that pulled back that we didn't get the 50, but I was like, hey, oh well, we're staying pretty bullish. And for some reason, this one little candle, the nighttime has to come back and touch the 50%. So this is why I'm pretty sure that it's going to stay probably bullish tonight. We just got to wait for the next swing. Huh. I don't usually notice the difference about the, what people use as their usernames. I guess I don't even think about it. Even when I see somebody use their name, I don't even think about it. Oh yeah, the Asia market loves the 50%, man. I'm not gonna lie. The 50% is insane on the Asia market. Yeah, I know. I remember when I first started trading the Asia market at the back at the 1st of December last month. Um, I would get break even trades all the time because I would go to break even so early. It's so hard to go to break even in the Asia market. So the Asia market does not like break even trades. It seems like anytime you get up like 10, 15 points, you'll go to break even, take that first set of contracts, and literally a minute later, it's already back at your stop loss. I mean, there's a good and bad to that because if you get on the wrong side of the trade, you can almost wait and be patient and the Asia market's coming back to your entry. Or it gives you an opportunity to DCA into the trade. And then on the very next pullback, you can either try to get a break even trade or pick up a few points. It's kind of what happened to us last night because we took a short, literally, I think at the bottom of the market, and we ended up DCAing back into it and we got out of it before it finally pushed up. Boy, we're just building a big old stupid consolidation box. The good old idiot box per methodical man. So right now we're just keep rejecting off the previous day close. So if you're looking for like a really high win percentage, like 10-point trade, I'm not saying it's 100%, but if I'm thinking about it at the moment, this trade will win like 7 out of 10 times, like almost easy for 10 points. And that's the previous day close. But you want to make sure it's after the 10 o'clock hour in the New York session, because usually if it hits between that, say 9:30, 10, there's just too much volume and you won't get that support and resistance that you're looking for. But later in the morning, it's usually a nice little area because you could usually have a lot of consolidation off the previous day close where it sit there and just kind of consolidated for like that last hour, sometimes from like 4 to 5 or in the evenings. So it's usually a nice spot for about a 10-point win if you're looking for like that little risk 10 points to make 10 points. And to me, it's even better whenever you got the previous day close and open stacked on top of each other. But we don't have that here. So where's your opening at? Opening is way up here at 281 from the previous day. But over here, it was stacked on top of each other. Let's see if we got a little win there. Actually, that's what we pushed back up to. Unfortunately, we didn't. I can't remember what we did this morning, but oh yeah, we took this short here. This was a short we actually took for 100 points today. What time was that? After the 10 o'clock hour. So see how we sold down past the previous day open. We just kept popping into it. Then we just finally sold off. So it's definitely a good level to watch, later in the mornings. So I actually remember this trade. This is why we had this little trend line break here. So we were like, okay, we're going to take this trend line break. We got short at 193. And I want to say we ended up, like I said, we took 100 points out of this trade here. We took it down for 100 points. So I want to say it was around this area. 250? So hell, we would have took profit because this was almost a 100-point candle. As you can see, we left a lot on the table. It was a good trading day besides that one elusive count that got away from me. So, other than that, You think the euro is going to run low and either take us higher or have the U.S. open? See, I don't really follow a lot of that forex, the currency stuff, so I don't really know a lot about it. Sorry about the yawning, guys. So with the dollar, if the dollar is going down, does the NQ follow the dollar, or does it do like a reverse of the dollar? I can't remember that. I know I used to watch the dollar for, man, it's been over a year or more, so I can't remember. I know if the dollar is going down, the NQ is going up, and it's vice versa, if I'm not mistaken. Does that sound right? Does anybody know that? Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, you don't mess with the forex. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the euro dollar. I thought maybe you were trading forex, Natty. Fish lips. That thing had to come back and visit you, didn't it? It came back and visited that 75 again. Oh, that's pretty insane, dude. It's like, let's not forget about fish lips. He's got an order sitting at 75 down there. Like I said, guys, there's not really anything I can do here but just kind of wait. If this thing gets above the 30 level, I don't see this thing. It's probably just to the moon from there. Like I said, we're waiting. If we're still long bias, this is what we have to wait to happen to get an entry. You really got to see something push up, say to the 850s, or even take out this swing and then have a pullback into this leg here to retest the 25. And that would be your probably your long opportunity if you can wait that long. But I feel like that's what's got to happen to get another entry. Nice on the 50-point win here, Fish Lips, if you're holding to that 25. The hold numbers seem to do really well in this nighttime market some nights. What's the best market to trade on the current on a 2K? Um, I don't ever recommend, unless you've been trading for many years, to trade your own cash. So So I know I would never use my own actual money to trade just because I don't think I'm at that level in my trading journey to trade cash. Because I think if I try to trade my cash, I would just lose it all. I'd rather had a flat amount that I risk buying a funded account and lose that. At least I know, all right, the most I'm going to lose is $100 or $150 at most. Then, if I had $2,000 or $3,000 to put in a trading account and risking that. So I started yesterday and made one nice. Oh wow, you made 1K yesterday. Nice. Yeah, some people are good at that. That's just something I don't recommend just because I know I wouldn't do it. So I couldn't say, tell somebody else to do it. So I just know I wouldn't do it. So usually when someone says they're putting cash in something, usually I'm just against it because I know I couldn't do it. I know if I put a lot of money into a trading account, I'd be probably crying or upset because I just lost $2,000 or $3,000. I think that's like a whole new set of emotions for myself. We've just finally somewhat cracked the actual funded count We are trading the MNQ as the micros of the NASDAQ, and we're trading on the 5-minute time frame. And tonight we are up 150, and we got overall this. We just trade evals in the Tokyo market or Asia market, and we're up 831 on this account. So basically what I've been doing is just stacking Bulanox accounts because I only can have 3 Bulanox accounts at one time. So in any eval that I pass kind of gets put in a little cubby hole for later down the road. So this will be my 6 Bulanox accounts if we pass it. We have 6 Bulanox and 3 Apex with fundeds. I don't have any evals with Apex. The only other eval I have right now is with Elusive. So we're trading like 3 different prop firms. I know what you mean, man. I've done that quite a few times on my fundeds. It's definitely the worst is whenever you get super close to payout and you lose that. So that's been in the back of my mind lately on this one account that we're close to getting to payout. So we're about 4. We took a trade on it today, but we didn't make much because our runner got stopped. So we're about 470 away from $1,000 payout on this account. And so we're still trading it because, you still have to. So, I mean, we'll be looking for a trade tomorrow, but, so basically what I've been doing with this one is it's either a win or a loss. So I've been just treating it like that so I don't end up over trading it. So what is it? Monday was a loss, or Tuesday? One day was a loss. One day I didn't trade. Today was only a $40 winner. So that was it because the market was kind of whipping pretty good. So we didn't take another trade. Unfortunately, the next account that I took a trade on, we ended up making about 140 or 50 on the funded. And that was this one, the one that we're up 1,600 on. And I think that was the only 2 funded trades that we took today. Then the 100-point trade, you get 100 points. It's always on an eval. So usually the way it goes. No, the previous day close is a straight wall, guys. Sometimes if you feel yourself kind of losing grip on it, sometimes it's just best to downsize your contracts. That way it gives you a little bit more breathing room. Dude, I already made my $100 tonight, so I'm not going to be in a big hurry to look for another trade unless we get that like push up and pull back type of setup fish flip. So we're just going to be chilling. A funded account works because it's a flat amount of money that you gotta put on the line. So instead of just trading, your own cash. So the max money, it really depends on how well you're in your trading journey. If you're just starting out, you can spend a year or 2 just constantly going through evals or blowing fundeds. And most of us that has been trading for a while all go through it. And I'm not saying you still don't lose funded accounts even after doing it a while, especially depending on how much you're risking. But so, all right, for instance, right now, I'm trading Bulanox, Apex, and Elusive. My only funded accounts are with Bulanox and Apex. So I have about 8 or 9 funded accounts between the 2 of them. So I have 5 with Bulanox. This will be the 6th one if I pass it. But see, those 2 kind of sit into like a little cubby hole. Like they just sit there because with Bulanox, you only can have 3 funded accounts at once until you get 1 to the payout buffer. So I would have to get this one to $3,600 and then they will unlock a 4th one for me up to 11. So back to the eval or funded accounts, how you get money out of it is you start off with the eval. So this is a eval account. This is 25K eval. I have to make $1,500. So I'm about $700 away to pass in this one. And then you pay the activation fee for your funded account. And what Bulin, every single prop firm has a different payout threshold. Bulinox is a little bit more, but the reason why I like Bulinox is because they don't have as many strict rules. They don't enforce all those strict rules like the other prop firms do. Their main rule that they want you to follow is that 40% consistency rule. So with a 50K, the most you can make is like $1,200 a day. But I don't ever make $1,200 a day, so I don't ever worry about the consistency rule. So I don't ever have an issue with it. Because I don't usually, most of the time, we're not going full port. But with the 50K, you got to get to $3,600 to request your first $1,000 payout. I don't know how many payouts you got to request till you get the whole thing. I want to say it's either 3 or 4. I'm not sure if I know it used to be 3. So let's just say I get to the $3,600. I request $1,000 and that'll leave me with $2,600 in it. That means I only got to make $1,000 more dollars. I really only trade at this time of the night to try to help build my YouTube channel for us. And we will trade evals. But tonight's price action is actually not too bad. I mean, you can see we have some nice movements. We're getting a lot of 10 and 20, 30 point moves tonight. But majority of the reason why I trade at this time of the night my question is liquidity pretty thin at this time. Yeah, like I said, I only do this time of the night to try to build my YouTube channel because it's hard to get exposure during the daytimes. Because there's so many other large streamers, and most of the time YouTube always pushes the larger streamers because, they're getting more views and making YouTube more money. And, they're not going to push someone with 1,000 subscribers. So that's the reason why I'm streaming at night. So before I even started streaming in the nighttime, I was stuck around 700 or 800 subscribers forever. And I want to say, in the last few months, just staying steady, streaming at night, I done picked up almost 400 subscribers just streaming the nighttime. So, and it took me like 2 years to get to 800 because I never would stream in the evening. Because, most of the time I'm hanging out with the wife, watching TV, or not really watching TV, or, watching a show or something on the tablet or whatever, just hanging out with the wife and stuff. But lately, we've been just strictly staying to the nighttime streaming because I know that's what I have to do. I couldn't tell you what's the best option for a trading app for mobile because I've never done that before. So I have no experience with trading from a mobile phone. Or yeah, whatever Methodical Man was saying there. Get out of here, dirty Methodical Man. You're going to get the band hammer. We're going to drop the band hammer on Methodical. No, I'm not a full-time trader. I don't make enough money trading to pay my bills. So I still have to work for a living. So a lot of times my day is like, I'm pretty much busy. I'm either streaming in the morning, working in the middle of the daytime, then streaming again. Methodical Man refuses to pay my bills. So, but it's okay. Yeah, there's no really way for me to trade it at phone. I guess if that's what you're talking about, using a mobile phone, I don't really have a way of doing that because, like I said, I would never even consider trading on a mobile phone. I've heard of people having success doing it. I've just never done it. So, all right, what is... I missed it, Methodical Man. I missed it. I was trying to get back on there. Ninja does have a mobile app. Yeah, I knew they had a mobile app, but I've just never gave it a whirl. Have you tried it before, Fish Lips? The mobile phone? Mobile app trading? No, I've never looked into the legacy prop firm. I've heard of them. I haven't messed with them. They're comparable to Apex and Buell and Ox. You just have to trade for 7 days instead of 10. And it's the end of day drawdowns and less rules. Okay. So do you want to this is the reason why I've been only sticking with prop firms that I know have been around for a while, because the last time I went and traded with a new prop firm, I got burned, and now a lot of other people are getting screwed over because of that prop firm. The money that they made, they ended up going bankrupt, and now they're requesting they want their money back that they paid out people for getting payouts. So so if you got payouts with Fast Track, they're the bankruptcy court is sending you a letter saying that, hey, we want our money back. But luckily I didn't get my payout. So I got a payout with Fast Track, but they kept about $2,000 that they had owed me in payouts and affiliate stuff, but I never got, which I guess it's a blessing because I probably would have got an email saying I owe them $2,000. So some people even got crazy big letters like owing like as much as 20, 30, $40,000 back to them. So if one of you guys, not sure if any of you guys are part of that or not. So no, I've never tried the MetaTrader either. That's kind of what I was like. Like I said, I've just been sticking to prop firms that I know had been around for a while, and at least I know they somewhat pay. No, I've never heard of the GGAL. Is that a stock? I would have to look that up to see what that is. A lot of these abbreviations, I don't really know what they are. GG. Yeah, see, I don't really pay attention to a lot of stocks, man. I'm probably not the one that like you would want to analyze stocks because you got to think. I don't really analyze like large days of like data when I'm trading. Most of the time, most of the stuff I'm trading is within what's going on now with the market and kind of what went on the previous day. You know, looking for the previous highs, lows, or bids. I don't really go back and look at it as far as going back and looking at like, months and months or days, besides looking at lower highs or something like that. So that is about as much as I do when it comes trading futures, because you got to think, man, most of our trades, unless you're a swing trader that's going to be holding trades for like weeks or days, most of my trades, you're looking at what, 5 minutes. So you're just kind of analyzing what's going on in the moment. If you're taking like breakout trades or level trades or, because most of my trades are like breakout trades. Besides that, well, even the morning is kind of a breakout trade too. So we're just kind of trading the momentum, or sometimes bull flag, bear flags, just different little things. So futures is kind of like options. See, I heard some people do really well the options. See, I don't know much about the options either, Forrest. I wish I did, because the only thing that, I've repeated this quite a few times. The only thing I ever done with the options was selling calls and make money off premiums. That was the only way I ever did calls. It says, funny trader, read up on the market volume profile. On the Yeah, someone is that similar to the order flow profile, Anthony? Anthony. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I know someone was talking about order flow last night. It says time decade killed me with the options. I was often right on the move, but not at the right time. Okay, so trading off the volumes, like kind of trading off the liquidity. Yeah, even when I did it, Anthony, like I said, I would just look for 100 shares to buy, and I would just put up the 100 shares and just take the premium. I just did that over and over. I think I made like 400 or 500 bucks over a period of time. I don't remember the length, but I just kept doing it over and over. I think whenever I finally got my call, because I finally lost my shares, so I had to sell them, or they took them because they went up in value. So I think that was probably the last time I'd done it. So I forgot how much they went up when they called them. So it's like I said, that's been a couple years ago. For anybody that does those kind of option calls. I don't know how much time it would take to put into options to even get good at, like to, somewhat feel comfortable doing it. Oh, it's called a wheel strategy. Okay. I didn't know the correct name for that, Natty. Yeah, it's the first time I ever heard the. It says lean map. You want to read option futures. This is just the MNQ. I can put the little tag in there. It's basically the NASDAQ. Can you trade any stock? Basically, I don't know if you can trade any stock on here on Ninja because I think I only pay for the futures market because you have to have data, and I'm not sure how that works with the prop firms. I'm not sure what prop firms does stock. That I'm not positive about. I've only ever done futures. I mean, that's the only thing that I've watched for the last couple years. So like I probably have no desire to look for anything else. So I like just watching the same market over and over every day. Yeah, I still can't get an entry unless we break out and push back down to retest. This is the NASDAQ flavor. So, like I said, we want to see one of these push ups, come back, retest this, then look for long. So, ideal is like you would see it maybe push up to the 50s or break this swing, then have that pull back into the 25 area to retest the previous day close. See, I've never used the Think or Swim or Weeble at all either. I know a lot of people do use it. I've never used it. The only thing that I've ever used to trade is Ninja Trader, which that's probably 90% of my trading. Tradeovate when I first started, because that's the easiest to start out on. Quantower, I got an account on Quantower to trade, but I hate trading Quantower. I don't know what it is. I just can't get used to it. So, but Ninja is basically about the only thing I use. The reason why I like the longs, I feel like we're going to run the New York high by the London session. Like if I could find a way to put on an entry and look up where the, let's see, 30, 31 is definitely a resistance area. So you're probably going to get a little pullback here at the 30s. So you can see we're kind of hitting that 30 level. There's the pullback. What, it hit 32? So that's like an hour swing point there. So I use like a super trend indicator, and it usually kind of marks out your. No, I don't ever use. I have used the VWAP in the past, but I don't now. I use very little indicators because most of my trading is all mostly level based with breakouts. So most of the time, I'm not even paying attention to indicators. I used to a lot, but lately I have not. So I do have the 9, the 50, and 21 on here, but I don't really use them for much of anything. They're just there. But I don't have nothing against the VWAP. I've used it in the past. It seems to, it seems to work. I know a lot of people use it. I just haven't used it in a long time. Most of the time I'm just looking at like swings. I'm looking for like the previous day close, previous day low, swing points. I mean, just pretty much that type of trading, support and resistance, consolidation periods, just very simple stuff. Then looking for breakouts whenever you get that reaction around that level. Because most of the time I don't put resisting, I guess, let's see. Yeah, I want to look for a long, but almost I think here you need to get above 31. You need to kind of break above 50 to 60, and then you need to get the pullback into the 35 area. Or what you can do, wherever this hot next high is going to be, you can pull fib on it and see what you get. So you remember a while ago, I thought I said it was weird that this candle didn't make it back 50% of this swing right here. It's the nighttime market loves the 50% mark. So if you pull your fib to the high over here, because this was the high earlier, this thing made a point to come back to the 50% before we basically jump back up. So basically that's what I'm saying. We're going to have to wait for a new high and then wait for that 50% pullback. Then you could possibly look for a long if you're still on here trading. But you know how that is in the Asia market. You could be sitting here for 3 hours waiting for that to happen. So you might not get another entry until probably closer to London session or, 11, 12 o'clock at night. So depending on how long you're trading tonight, I don't know if I'll make it to another entry. Most of the time, my goal at night is like to make like $100, and so we're already at 150. So if I can make it extra, okay. But if not, I'm not going to worry about it. We'll just go in tomorrow morning up $150 on the eval, and yeah. So I think every night this week we've made at least $100 in the nighttime. Lewis, this website is the Ninja Trader. But I also like trading Rico candles. Does anybody trade Rico candles? Rico candles is what I like to trade my evals on. I like to trade pullbacks. So this would be what I would call a pullback. So you see how like you're 21, you got some space in between 21. So what it is, you're waiting for that first 2 or 3 little candle pullback. And I would be long here. So a lot of times during the daytime, I'll be trading on Rico candles. So it'll look kind of weird on my 5-minute charts because I'll have my 5-minute charts and the Ricos kind of logged onto the same account. So it'll look kind of weird sometimes. So then every 3 points is 10 points. That's why you always see me going for 10 points. And then you can just kind of follow the Rico candles up until they start pulling back. So on your runners. So this was a short. I want to say we took this short tonight before we got started streaming. So we had a little pullback into the 21, plenty of space in between. And sold off from the 80, basically 80 points on that push down. But I don't think we got that many points. Today offered some really good pullbacks. it's really good on a really trendy day. I want to say we took some nice. We took this is when we took that 100-point short today. It was kind of looking at our Rico charts. You can see this thing was just downtown all day. Pullback, another pullback. It just could not break above the 21 on the Rico candles and just kept going, going, going. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that? What were you asking, Lewis? This website is called Ninja Trader. I can put it in the chat. Oh shoot. Ninja Trader takes quite a bit of steps to sign up. So to sign up for Ninja, you'll have to have a Ripnik account. So whatever prop firm you're using, most of the time, at least my account's a Ripnik with them. Or the way to get around that is you can sign up for a Tradeovate account, then set up your connection on Ninja with Tradeovate. So like right now I would recommend having one Ripnik account, then all your other accounts set up on Tradeovate. This way you can connect to all your accounts at one time. So like right now we're connected to Bulanox and Elusive. I also have a Apex Ripnik account that sometimes I forget to trade, but then we have a Tradeovate account also. So, but with this one, like I said, it's a little bit more difficult. You have to set up your connections, but you also have to set up RTrader Pro. You have to import your license key. So basically, this is your Ripnik account that you set up. So you double click it, then you come down, whatever username password you get with the prop firm you're using, you would put it here. Then you would select Ripnik Paper Trading Chicago. Tradeovate, all you pretty much have to do is just put in username, password, and hit, apply. So Tradeovate's a little bit more easier to set up with Ninja than it is to get a Ripnik account to set up Ripnik. I don't know why they make it so difficult to do that. And also, there's one thing that you have to make sure select if you want to see configurations. You got to make sure this multi-provider is selected. If this is not selected, you won't be able to configure your connections. This will be missing right here. So you got to have that multi-provider connected. But if you get to that point, if you need some help, just come back to the lobby. I'm on here like every day, or go to the Discord and ask a question. I'd be more than happy to help you set it up if you have any questions, because I know it takes quite a bit to set it up. I remember when I first set it up, it was kind of a pain in the butt. It was called being on the phone a lot with Methodical Man. Asking Methodical Man, how you do this, man? I don't know how to do it. So, but Ninja Trader's been around forever, so there's tons and tons of videos on Ninja Trader, so you shouldn't have a hard time finding all the information you need when setting up Ninja Trader. Dude, I can't believe that you're ever just destroying. Yeah, you also get a free license with the prop firms with Ninja Trader too. And also in the Discord, there's plenty of free indicators too that, if you like using indicators. So if you go over to the indicator, there's plenty of indicators in here to try if you're looking for free indicators also. If you like fair value gaps, there's a fair value gap one. Initial balance, that used to be one of my favorite indicators. The only reason why I haven't been using that one because I use the opening range. The reason why I don't use that one no more because I have my chart set up like this in the morning instead. So this is a 4-hour candle, 4-hour candle, and this is a 1-hour candle, and this is a 4-hour altogether. So the opening range, the one that I use is the 9 o'clock to 9:15 minute, 9 o'clock to 9:15, 15-minute candle for us. It actually paid this morning, but I was very skittish taking it. So, and I didn't take it, but we did have a setup this morning and I was seeing it too. The reason why I wasn't a fan of taking it is because, man, the last few days we have just been whipping so hard in the morning that it's so hard to grab these. Oh, you've used that first 15-minute candle? Yeah. I just use it for a lot of times on my entries early in the morning. So I'm either looking for a push back into the 15 minutes or a breakout out of the 15 minutes or something in the morning. I know a lot of people use the 9:30 to 9:45, but I've found better luck using the 9 o'clock to 9:15. Yeah, it's really not the selling off what's been getting me is if you don't have the right stop loss in. I mean, these candles are what it was whipping like 60 points this morning, just back and forth. And it makes it so hard to enter these. So the last 2 days have been really tough starting out. Dude, this looks just like a big, I'm not going to lie, guys. This looks like a big old bear flag. I'm not gonna lie. This looks like a bear flag. But we'll see if this trend holds. It says that you said you're making a software that helps you predict the chop, like when it starts out in the morning time. I don't know. A lot of times I just try to stay away from the early morning chops because I know it's CPI numbers in the morning. Can you do me a favor and send me this long? You can do that, right? I'm still waiting on the long too, but like I said, we would have to push up and push down before the. No, Trade of 8 does not ask for Social Security number. The only person that you would have to do your Social Security number on, Lewis, whatever prop firm you're using, unless you're using real money, then you don't. Then that's between. Well, maybe if you're setting up a real account, they may. Because maybe if you're setting up a live account with them. I'm not sure, man. I haven't set up Trade of 8 in so long. It's probably been 2 years since I've set up a Trade of 8 account. You must be setting up one of their live accounts. So I don't know if you got to have a live account to have a simulation account with them or not. I'm not positive. Yeah, I hold stuff as long as I need to. I'm just talking about whenever I said most of my trades probably don't last longer than say, a couple minutes to 5 or 10 minutes. Most of the time they're not, whenever we're having breakouts. So in the evening times, you can sit here and hold trades for 30, 45 minutes to even a couple hours. If in my experience from trading the Asia market, because the Asia market, I suck. it, it will test your patience all the way, man. You can be sitting here. This is why I said most of the time, if you get trapped in the wrong direction in the Asia market, more likely it will come back to your entry, or you can try to DCA back in. That's the only good thing about the Asia market that I've noticed. So every now and then you'll get that black swan event where we just sell off and there's no return, but most of the time it returns. So that way, if you do get stuck in a sell or buy, sorry about the yawning, guys. Thank you guys for the likes and follows tonight. How's everybody's trading going? Uh, DCA candle dealer is like let's just say I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go short, and unfortunately I bought the bottom. We bought the bottom here at 60. I'm like, hey man, or 70. We'll say 70. You got tricked into buying this fake breakout candle here. You're like, oh man, this 5-minute candle is moving. Let me jump into this. This thing will hit the brakes. So now you're stuck in a trade at 70. So, all right. So now as it comes back up, and so I usually add in on a whole number. So what you're trying to do is bring your average back up. So I would try to buy again at 800. So this would raise my average 5 to 10 points. And so it keeps going. I would try again at 25 to bring my average back up again. And now you're looking to, hopefully you might get that little pullback where you can either get to break even or get out with minimum loss or small gains. Some prop firms don't like you doing DCA-ins. I know Apex tried to stop people from doing it, but I think they allow it again. So they don't want people rescuing themselves. It's called dollar cost averaging in. There's usually tons. You'll see tons of traders online DCAing in. They might not say it out loud, but usually I do. I'll just say, hey, we're trying to DCA back in, man. We got caught in this wrong area, so we're trying to average back in. Fish Lips, the guy above you, he does a lot of DCA in. Like he's probably a DCA professional because I know he gets in drawdown sometimes because he's averaging in on the whole numbers, either in discount or premium, depending on where we're at in the market or that leg. So a lot of times he'll take entries, say at the 50. Okay, it blasted the 50. Let me look for the 25. He'll DCA down at the 25, or he'll have another contract sent down around the 25 area. Then you're just hoping, okay, we should get the pop back up, and then your last leg of defense is usually what I call my last leg of defense is down at the 800, not the 800, but the whole number down there. Usually you wanted to see it hit the whole number, then shoot back up to the 25 to 50. So there's multiple ways that you can DCA in there. You said the SPY's at 690 plus opening. I haven't traded that SPY in a while. Dude, I'm not going to lie. Looking at this looks like a big bear flag to me. Like if you put your trend line here, man, this thing looks like it could just break out and rerun those lows again, but who knows? See, kind of pull the big flag here. Big pullback. Big flag. What's up, man? How are you doing? Probably never put your when starting out, never put your real money into trading. Try to start off on trading paper accounts and start off with prop firms and learn to trade on evals and eventually get to funded accounts. And if you're able to pass funded accounts, maybe take your funded money out of those funded accounts to put into a money account. because most people that usually start off putting cash into an account will lose it. So, all right, so let's run the lows to get longs down there, D. Yes, protect your funds. Yeah, that's why I say I never recommend, especially being new, don't put your money in that stuff. At least if you buy a prop firm account, you already kind of know what you're going to lose if you lose the money. Where, you never know, man. It would suck to be on a cash account and you get one of those random like Trump tweets, or something happens in the world that makes the market dump 100 points, or you just never know. What's up, Matt? How have you been? Yeah, it seems like gold has kind of been this plateau tonight. Methodical Man's been doing fairly good on the gold. Yeah, I have no issue with Apex. The only thing that I have with Apex is I have an issue with breaking their rules, because sometimes whenever I get caught in a bad trade, I always end up breaking that drawdown rule. I full ported a prop from eval Apex and it lost it. It was only like $20. Yeah, see, worst case scenario, you lose $20. It sucks to even lose $20, but that's going to be part of the journey. You know what? I'm surprised prop firms aren't doing 90%, because tomorrow is CPI. If you guys are gamblers, tomorrow is a gambling morning. And this morning or yesterday was a good gambling morning. Let me tell you what I did yesterday morning. I was going to full port account on, what is it? The non-farm payroll. So I had one account that I set up 3 minis to trade it. And for some reason, I took the trade on my main account, which is this one that you're looking at, and I didn't change it to minis. And I was on micros. So I was like, yes, I blasted the trade. Then I looked at it. I'm like, dude, why do I only got like a couple $100? I was still on micros. So I took a 3 micro trade instead of a 3 mini. So I didn't pass it. So this is what we're trading now. You blew up a few accounts myself live and learned. Now, I would never do a funded account like that, but yeah, yeah, trust me, candle dealer. I was like, what? Then I looked, I was like, oh, no, I don't use the VIX, but I have heard good things about using the VIX with the NASDAQ. I just haven't started doing it. Uh, the 20 points the 20 accounts don't really apply to me, because I don't see myself ever having that many funded accounts with the Apex. That's a lot. I guess it depends on how long you've been trading Nitro. Are you brand new to trading, or have you been trading a while? It really depends on where you're at in your trading journey. I do mainly futures. I don't have any. I don't know anything about forex, but I've heard it's pretty much the same as futures. I just don't have any experience with forex. Oh, you were saying the CPI numbers are unpatched. The method is unpatched. Yeah, I need to actually start doing that, because I hear other people talking about the VIX. Because I listen to different people all the time, just as you guys are sitting here listening to me. And I hear other people bring up the VIX. Usually I've heard the VIX. I used to use the ES, because I know NASDAQ follows the ES. The same with the dollar. If the dollar is going up, the NASDAQ and the market's going down, and vice versa, if I'm not mistaken. Or does it follow the dollar? I think it does the opposite as the dollar. I guess it's similar to the VIX. So with the VIX, does the NQ, you said follows the VIX, or does it go in the opposite of the VIX? We're using prop firms. I don't use real cash, so I trade prop firm accounts. I don't think I'm where I need to be in my journey to really use cash account. I know if I try to use a cash account, I'd probably end up just losing my money. Then I'd just be more irritated than I would be if I lost my funded account. That's probably the only thing I like about prop firms is like I know how much money I got vested in my funded account, and that's the most money I can lose no matter what kind of day I have in my trading journey. If it's one of those days where, like, screw it, we're going to stay in this trade and try to DCA out, and it ends up going. But it's one thing to lose $100 compared, like, if you got in that mentality, if you lost a few thousand. Like I said, I think it's where you're at on your trading journey, Force. I just know I've only been doing this for a couple years, and I'm definitely not to the point where I would feel comfortable using my real money. I'd probably lose it if I use my real money. I would over leverage, or I'd stay in a trade too long, or I would do something to that mentality and end up losing my money. So, yeah, I would just prefer to use a prop firm. Like right now, man, I'm only like $400 and something away from $1,000 payout. So it's been a grind, but hopefully it'll be a nice win once we get there. We just got to stay strict, can't do nothing stupid. I try to tell you guys this so it keeps myself from doing stupid stuff. I don't want to have to explain, like, man, this is what I did yesterday. I went tilt. So we're 470 away. So 470 away to the $1,000 payout with Bewley. Then this one is halfway there. This one's at 1,500. So I'm hoping by March we can have both of these kind of hitting that $1,000 mark. So hopefully. Yeah, we are using a Ninja Trader. You can download the Ninja Trader app. It's a app for your you can have like a little desktop app. I don't think you can see it. So, let's see. I'm gonna pull it down so you can see. So it would look like this once you download it on your computer. It says, yeah, man, I only trade on TradingView. See, I've never tried the TradingView. I hear a lot of guys that come here and try it. I've just never done it myself. So I don't have I use TradingView. I use it more or less for a few indicators, and that's about as much as I use TradingView for. Let's see. And I just have the cheap TradingView. So I only get like a few indicators that I can even use. So the only two really indicators that I really look at when I'm trading TradingView is the ICT kill zones and pivots. So basically what it is, we're just kind of watching for the New York lows and highs, the lunchtime highs, and the AM highs and lows. So that one, volume swings. So this is why I keep thinking that we're going to possibly run up, but who knows? The other indicator that I like to use is the swing indicator. It's called a super trend indicator. And so basically what it is, it kind of, if you go look what this is kind of the mark out of a hourly swing. So if you look at an hourly swing, this is probably what this is because I tried to figure out, it's like, what is this super trend? Because it's called super trend. So it's basically a trend that it follows down. But I want to say it's the hourly break of a trend whenever I've tried to look it up. But this is probably about the most like type indicators I use. Most of them are all like, you know, support resistance type indicators. Yeah, same here. I like using that super trend indicator, Nitro. So I've used it for a while now. I just used it more or less for just kind of like, uh, just like, kind of like, okay, we're about to break like usually when I know we're pushing above it, that kind of just kind of gives me that buy sell line. It's like, okay, if this area holds, we're looking for shorts. If we find support above it, we're going to be long bias. So that's kind of how that's how I use it. So if it ran down to 50, then jump back up. Are you talking about 750 for us? It says I called so many of my indicators on TV to watch which one blows. Oh goodness. So it shows you the higher highs, higher lows. It's called market structure indicator. We can take a look at it. Which one is who is that one with, AJ? There's like tons of market structures on there. Which one do you recommend to look at? Like who's the name of it over there? Say, AJ, do you know which one that the name of it is? Is it the ICT market structure one or MTF highs and lows? Does that sound right? MTF highs and lows. Oh, he might have left already. For about 2 years, Ziggy. I don't know. I mean, I feel like that we could possibly break down to the downsides because this, like I said, this looks like a big bear flag. So, and that previous day close has been a straight up wall. Are you trading with the prop firm, Ziggy, or are you trading your own money? You said you've been doing it. You're in for 3 weeks. What is these traders? We only use like kind of one. Let's see. There's the name of the creator. His name is Lonesome Blues. Let me just type in that lonesome the blue name. Well, that doesn't come up with anything. What's up, Mr. Hope? Yeah, but we're trading micros on the NQ. We're not trading minis. Oh, you're trading an eval? Nice. That's all we trade in the Asia market, Ziki, is evals only. We don't trade none of our fundeds. But the only strategy that I can explain that I use for the morning time is based off on the opening. This morning was a little bit tougher entry. The last couple mornings actually have been pretty tough to trade. But I like trend line breaks a lot off support and resistance. So like this morning, we were kind of just popping off the previous day open here. So we took this short. This was probably our biggest trade of this morning before, unfortunately, the very next one we lost. But this one we took for 100 points here. Usually what I like to see is the break of the first 15-minute candle, then have a pullback into it. Like I saw it forming, but I didn't take it because I didn't like the whipsaw-y action. And I don't know if it's just because it's non-farm payroll and CPI numbers, but the market has been just really tough trading the opening. But if you're okay with just putting down orders, so what you would have done is take this high, take this higher low or almost a low of a swing, and then what you're doing is just looking for a pullback into the 15-minute candle, which is right here. So this would have been your short. You would have been short out of this if you had took the short this morning. So unfortunately, I did take the shorts, but what happened this morning is the market was whipping so fast that I only got $40 because my runner got stopped out. And with that funded account, I only trade at one time. So it's either a break-even trade, a losing trade, or a winning trade. Whatever happens, I don't trade it again because we're so close to payout, and I don't want to make any kind of mistakes to tear it up. Then all my other trades are usually off like support and resistant levels, or I do breakouts with evals with Rico candles also sometimes. It usually, now I just do this with evals. I haven't really got to the point where I do it with fundeds. So we just, on my evals, what we do is just, once I just wait for a trend to kind of start with Rico candles, and I'm just looking for pullbacks. I do the ORB that we're doing is the 9 o'clock to 9:15. So like I said, we're just buying these pullbacks, looking for 10 points and runners. I mean, today would have paid nicely. Insane amount of pullbacks. Pullback, at least 10 points runner. You just get stopped out where you get stopped out. Another 10 points runner. Another pullback, 10 points runner. And another one, and another one, and like it just kept going and going today. You don't really get this very often, but like once every couple weeks. So I think our biggest win today was 100 points, but unfortunately it was on an eval. Usually we just do the morning time because I still worked. So usually I stream till 11 o'clock Eastern time or 10 o'clock my time. And then, I got caught in a long today, Mr. G, and I blew one of my elusive accounts today. So it wasn't finding no support today. Today was just like, so I had just finished with that 100-point trade that we talked about a while ago. And I even have it, I left it up here because I still had it drawn out. So this was the trade that we took on this one here. So there was like another little big old bear flag. I'm like, man, this looks like a big old bear flag. And as soon as it broke this swing, we got short at 193. We took it for 100 points. So he's like, okay, get 100 points, get out. This is the candle that got me this morning on the sell-off. So I thought this little small candle was going to hold. You see this little wick right here? It popped this little small candle. I said, okay, maybe we'll get a pullback here, like 50%. And damn, did it just wick up and just sell off. And this is where I got trapped in that sell-off this morning. that was my elusive account going bye-bye because we tried to DCA back into it. So this is how we lost our elusive account this morning from this trade right here. So but it's part of it sometimes, guys. It's just part of it. So, oh, you got stuck in a trade similar? Oh yeah, dude. It fooled me like crazy watching that candle break back above there. I do like the order blocks too. If that what you're talking about, rejection blocks. Is that kind of like order blocks? Uh, yeah, I've heard of people using that. Is that similar to kind of like a ICT type setup, Drew, where you're trading off order blocks back through fair value gaps? Yeah, we're gonna be on tomorrow, Michael. I don't know what we'll be trading because it's kind of hard to, like with all these news events, man. It's been making the market super choppy, man. So, so it's been very tough to trade in the mornings, Michael. So, like we had a non-farm payroll this week, plus we got CPI numbers tomorrow. So I don't know how well the opening range is going to work with the CPI numbers coming out tomorrow because you're going to have a 1 to 200 point move probably tomorrow. The 15-minute orb that I trade, Miguel, is the 9 o'clock to 9:15. Um, some people are either trading that one or most people are trading that first 15 minutes from 8:40 or 9:30 to 9:45. So this is the very first one. Oh, you like doing both? Okay. See, I don't ever do the 9:31. I mainly just do the first 15-minute candle, the 8 o'clock to 8:15 minute one. Okay. See, Four said he does the liquidity sweeps too. Now, is that Central Time, Thor, or is that Eastern Time? I guess I would be trading the Eastern 9 o'clock to 9:15. I don't know if I've ever tried that one then, if that's Eastern time, that 8 to 8:15. So I've never tried that one, but I can take a look at it and see. I'm always willing to learn something new. Okay. Okay. See, I've never looked at that one then, so I don't know much about that one. I'll have to mark that one out and kind of like watch it and see what it does tomorrow. You wait until the marks of my 15-minute high and lows, then wait for a price action to go on what side to go. Yeah, that's something similar what I do too. Like I trade that 15-minute like multiple different ways. My favorite way to trade, like my favorite setup for the 15 minutes is the one where it goes out the bottom and runs like I say a 4 hour low or an hour low, then sweeps back up through it. Those are my favorites. So this was a nice setup. We ended up taking this one the other day for a nice win. So here's your high, here's your low. So the market wasn't real choppy this morning like it was. So this is your opening candle right here. So high, low, pull fit. Like I usually have fib pulled. And here's your 15-minute candle that you traded back into. So this would be your 9 to 9:15 15-minute candle, the one that's painted purple. Don't pay attention to all these candles. You want to start with this candle here. So high, low, push out both sides, kept pushing. And you could have probably grabbed this one too because it did push back into it and still got a nice win. But I didn't take that one. I think we ended up getting a trade off of this one. This one would have been your better pullback because that would have been back to 50% of that candle. And there's the 50%. This one was a very, very small 15-minute candle. So you would have basically entered on the second one. So your fib would have just been this first big candle. So your second candle would have gave you your 50% pullback, and it's right there. See the 50% on the top of this wick? So push out the top, push out the bottom, then you're waiting for the candle to push back in. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that one. See, I've never really used that one. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that one. I think tomorrow morning we'll mark it out. We'll put it on there. I will put it on there now, just so I don't forget. Dude, are we going to sell down here? We just broke. Oh, let me close this right here. So we just broke that trend line. So, dude, is this the downtown right here? I almost want to jump in here and see if it continues. I don't know. All right, we're just going to put on the indicator. All right. So here's my opening range. I have a bunch of opening range indicators on for all the higher time frames. All right, you said this way we don't forget about it in the morning. This way we can kind of watch it. Ooh-wee, that trend line just broke, guys. I was tempting to take that. I just couldn't jump into it. I was like, no, we're not going to do that. I was like, there it goes. I was wondering about this little big bear flag that we had marked out here. It's like, man, it looks like a big old bear flag here. So, oh crap. Let me see. Did I forget to hit the supply button? Let's see. Oh, I did. Dang it. I did. I forgot to hit apply. I just closed it, guys. Uh, I even put the wrong time anyway because I'm in Central Time, so I have to use 7 o'clock. So I'm in Central Time. I had the wrong time on there anyway. All right, let's make it stand out. And we can do some pink, purple. This way it can kind of make it stand out. We'll do it this bluish color. Nice if you took the bear flag breakout, guys. $9.75 long fish lips. So when you're trading that 8 to 8.15 candle there, are you just taking the pre-market breakout then? Or are you looking for a breakout of the top or bottom of that candle? I don't know. I guess I just need to watch it and see what everybody's doing. So do you not think we get past this? Yeah, I took it as Oh, you did take the short? Nice. Yeah, it was a nice little trend line break there. Now it really all depends. Are we going to break this swing here? If we break this swing here, it should be an indicator that we're going to be probably moving back down. But we'll have to get through this swing here. So this box that you see that's kind of forming now, let's see. Sometimes it breaks out and doesn't retest the range, so it doesn't. You don't have to focus. Yeah, it'll be something I would have to watch to kind of understand it. I just mainly pay attention to the one in the morning Thor, but I have heard of people that you just come across from either watching like TikToks or shorts or something that have brought up that 8 to 8:15 minute candle. I've just never used it personally. Oh, dude, if I wasn't up already, I was so tempted to jump in that at the 90s when we got back over. It's like, should we do it? But then I was like, man, I don't want to be trapped in another trade because I'm almost done trading for the night because I've already been on for the last 2.5 hours. So I don't really have any more interest. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's with any, to me, that's with any strategy, Thor. To me, that's something I don't understand what some people like get like there's no such thing as winning every trade, guys. At least I mean, I don't know. At least not in my trading journey. I take my fair share of losses. So my key and my strategy now is to try to lose as little as money as possible if I'm going to take a loss and to learn to live with the loss. That's the next one because for most of us, you take them losses. You're like, let me see if I can get that baby back, and we go up to go in a little heavy. We double up the size. The next thing you know, you're effed. Living with that loss. I still do it on my eval sometimes, guys. Like, oh, let me just go in, let me double up the size real quick. You're like, never double down. So true. That double down will F you every time, man. Oh yeah, that's definitely the key, man. Learn to learn being content with a break even or a small loss. It's so easier said than done. Now I'll do it more often with my evals, but with my fundeds, that's where I really try to stay strict to myself. So we've been doing good lately. So whew. All right. Like I said, I don't think I'm gonna take any more trades, but I like watching charts, man. I watch charts all the time. Most of the time, I'm always on charts before we even, start streaming. Most of the time, I usually turn on the charts like at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. But I don't usually ever take trades pre-market. So, did you long that 75 fish slips? Are you still trying the 75 long? You did? Okay. I was wondering if you were going to take that again. Dude, as long as it don't break this swing, I feel like it's still a nice, man. How did I get all that up there? All right, I got to find my indicator so I can take off all those words up at the top. Uh, I don't understand why I got all those words up at the top. I don't see no, man, all those for one indicator? That's a lot. Oh, there's another one out there somewhere. Oh, right there. So if you don't like having all those like words at the top of your screen, if you go to indicators, select your indicator and just go to label, it'll take all those off if you don't like looking at all those letters up there. Ooh. It's going to break the swing. It's Asia. So true. I'm glad not to be in it. I'm done tonight with this, man. I'm going back to the previous time frame and look at the 8 to 8:15 candles and maybe can back test it. Yeah, I'll start watching it. I haven't marked out Thor, so we'll start watching it in the mornings and just see what kind of reaction we get and what it does. So if you join my channel in the morning and you see this nice teal green candle right there, that's the 15-minute candle, or the 8 o'clock to 8:15 minute candle that they're talking about. So little teal. So we'll watch it. Like I said, I've never used it before, so I know there's a lot of different ways people use the 15-minute candles. Yeah, I got it marked out for us. That was that teal opening range that I just added. This way I don't forget about it in the morning. Because usually, like I said, I usually start looking at charts like at 6 o'clock in the morning. So we will pay attention to it in the mornings and just see what it does. Ooh, fish lips. Is this going to create a little bear flag, another little bear flag here? You want to see the pullback up here to the 100 here. Create like another flag like this if we're going to continue down. And you can almost get another. It's either going to be the bear flag or we go straight back up and this is just a new swing. So you said 842 is your break even. So you been in a short for since 8? You're short from 842 down bad? Uh yeah, I can put a link in here. Yeah, that would be nice pull back into that fair value gap to clear up that 5-minute gap. 24 8. So you're short from 24,842, or wait, right? That's a nice short if you're short from that far up, man. Nice. So that means you got. Oh, you took a long there. Hmm. How'd you get the. When was that? Let's see. That was at the what opening? So did you get on this? Did this candle right here? Did this candle right here get you? This breakout candle? Usually those fake breakout 5-minute candles will get you. It's always very important if you're. This is why I like trading the 5-minute. It allows me to be patient because a lot of times it's so easy to jump in on these 5-minute breakout candles. Yep. That's about the time, somewhere in here. I don't see it there on the 5 minutes. I can see it right here, but that's about this time here. If it's 625, 625 is about this range here. So, man, you've been holding for a while. What time frame are you trading on? Yeah, see, I don't see that on the 5 minutes. The 1 minute. See, I don't know what it looks like on the 1 minutes. I used to trade the 1 minute a lot, but I found myself getting into a lot more riskier trades on the 1 minute. So nice fish slips for the 40 points. You said the Robinhood line time frame, since their app won't let me check it out with candles. See, I've never used the Robinhood to trade futures. I heard that Robinhood was getting into futures, but I've never come across anybody that's used it. So I don't have any experience with it. Hmm. Oh, you're using your own capital? Yeah. I have no enthusiasms of using my own capital. I'm definitely not there in my trading journey to use real money. So that's usually why a lot of people, whenever they ask about real money, I always tell them that I don't ever recommend real money, because I couldn't give you any advice on that, because I don't use my real. I mean, I use real money to buy the prop firm accounts, but as far as trading, what $2,000 or $3,000 in a trading account. So because I know I would lose all my money from either not closing a trade, over leveraging, or just the same crap that most of us deal with as doing this from day to day. You just have those days where crap doesn't work right, and yeah, I rather just risk my $20 on an eval or my $100 on a whatchamacallit account. It's nice. See, guys, that's probably going to be it for me tonight, because we're going to be back early in the morning, 8 o'clock my time. So, and I'm always usually up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So that means it's already 10 o'clock my time. That means I'll be having to get back up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And that's because my wife gets up and starts getting dressed at 4. So I'm usually awake when she gets up. So that's why you guys start seeing me yawning like at 8 o'clock at night. So good luck the rest of the night, guys. If you're gonna, yeah, we sleep for like 4 to 6 hours usually, and get up, drink a lot of coffee, trade from what 8 o'clock my time till 10 or 11, go to work, then during the week come back and do it again. But see, when I didn't do that, my channel was not growing though, and Methodical Man kept telling me I had to trade at nighttime. So like most of us, we're all on the grind. Thank you guys for watching. Please be careful tonight if you're going to continue trading. So everyone have a good evening. Another $100 night, at least in the Asia market. So we're going to be up $150 on the eval. So that means we only need about $700 more to pass our 6 funded account with Buellanox. So then we also still have another elusive account that we're going to trade also once we're done with it. So, and we will see you guys tomorrow morning for the opening. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how it's going to be trying to trade your funded account tomorrow morning because tomorrow is CPI numbers. So that means the opening is going to be jacked up in the morning, guys. So just be aware of that if you plan on trading the opening in the morning. It's going to be probably the same situation we dealt with Wednesday with the non-farm payroll numbers. So it's almost like we're getting hit in double twice because they delayed the non-farm payrolls when the government had like that partial shutdown the other day. So thank you guys, and we'll see you guys in the morning. Oh man.